What's going on, Raiders? Duelim here, and today we're going to be talking about a massive trap that you need to avoid, even though Plarium makes it look oh so sweet every time they come by. So if you're ready, let's get into it. But first, make sure you're clicking that download link or scanning the QR code to get Karato Fox Hunter. The second you start the game, an amazing legendary nuker. At level 10, you're going to be getting Tagore, an amazing epic support character. At level 20, you're going to be getting Fane, who's got some incredible turn meter steal, as well as some pretty crazy damage. And then at level 30, you're going to be getting Vergus, who's a defense-based champion, to help keep your other characters alive. And then, this is super important, day number 1 within the first 24 hours of making your Raid Shadow Legends account, type in promo code Monkey King to get Sun Wukong, one of the best free legendaries they have ever given. And if you're on iOS, make sure you're clicking a different link in the description to type in any promo codes. All right, and the trap is gonna be in the summoning portal. I know, big shocker, right? So let's go over to the summoning portal here, and we're gonna click on the little eye here and show the drop rates for all the shards. So specifically, I want to look at the sacred shard drop. So the sacred shard drop is going to be 94% to get an epic, 6% to get a legendary. Not terrible, but not bad. But there is a mercy system that goes with this. So after 12 summons without a legendary, it gets 2% per chance per shard. So after 12, then these chances slowly go up and up and up by 2% every single time. Obviously with Primal is a little bit better, but you do have to get to 200 summons without a mythical, and then you're pretty much guaranteed after 10. The sacreds are a little rough, so it's after 12, then you need to open a minimum of 50 more to get to get a legendary out of it, right? So we're talking about this because we have the summon pool active right now, and I'm going to slide myself over here since the summon pool is on the left. And these are called Prism Shards. And these Prism Shards come every once in a while. I did do a shard opening with these. I think it was like a month and a half, 2 months ago, I think. And I pulled Geomancer, which was honestly a success because Geomancer is probably the best epic in the game, if not top 5 easily. He's absolutely insane. So I wanted to talk about these because I saw this and I looked at the pool and I was like, oh, okay. So right now we have the headline champion as Volcanos Fumar. I feel like it says it's like smoking in Spanish, but it's not. All right, so Volcanos, he's really, really good. Don't get me wrong. Attacks one enemy each time the skill is used, permanently increases the damage inflicted by the skill by 10%. So this is really, really nice. Attacks all enemies, places a fear debuff, and this debuff cannot be resisted by enemies under an HP burn, which is amazing. All of his damage is based on defense as well. He also has like a demon spawn unity thing right now, which is really, really crazy on his A3. So the damage inflicted by the skill is increased by 10% for the turns left remaining of any HP burn debuffs on the enemy, stacks up to 100%. And then he also has, like I said, this bonus based on how many demon spawn allies he has. So damage received by this champion is decreased by 50% while the skill is not on cooldown. Faction allies, each time an HP burn debuff is activated on an enemy, has a 50% chance to decrease this skill's cooldown by 1. Like, just absolutely insane. This is awesome. And then 3 faction allies, if the target is under an HP burn debuff, this attack will ignore Stone Skin, Unkillable, ally protection, block damage, and shield buffs, which is pretty nuts. And then the passive, whenever an enemy receives a buff or has their turn meter increase, has a 50% chance to place an HP burn debuff on that enemy for 2 turns. If an enemy already has an HP burn debuff, it has a 50% chance to instantly activate it instead, which is amazing. And then he has more demon spawn unity buffs here as well. Really, really good. And then increases ally speed in all battles by 19% for demon spawn, and then increases ally defense in all battles by 33%. And again, everything he does is based off of defense, so all of his damage is based off of defense. He's a very, very top tier character, but remember, you got to look at the percent drop rate. So this is what, a 2% drop rate. The other legendaries are at a 4%, but let's talk about the epics before we talk about the legendaries. So When we're looking at the epics here, this is going to be the majority of what you're going to pull, right? This is 94%. And when I look at these legendaries, or these epics are nothing crazy. The only epic that I look at and go, yeah, I kind of want this guy, is Magnar. And he's an HP nuker that is really, really good, honestly. Attacks one enemy, has a 45% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense buff for 2 turns, has a 100% chance if the target is under an HP burn debuff. So this pairs really well with like a Supreme Gaelic or like we talked about, Geomancer. The A2 percussive pound attacks all enemies, has places an extra hit on enemies without HP burn debuffs, has a 50% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn on enemies under an HP burn debuff. Again, really good. And then Fan the Flames, attack 1 enemy, applies a debuff spread effect, taking 2 random debuffs from the target and placing them on all enemies under HP burn debuffs. Also increases the duration of HP burn debuffs on all enemies by 1 turn. It will not spread fear, true fear, freeze, provoke, sleep, or stun. Obviously, that'd be pretty busted. And then Flesh Melter. This champion heals by 1% of their max HP every time anyone in the battle takes damage from an HP burn. So a little bit of passive healing there. And then the aura is increased ally defense in Doom Tower. So Magnar is very good. Don't get me wrong. He also looks awesome. But he's pretty much the only epic in this pool that's really worth it. Like, Scion is okay. And that's about it. Urticata is a poison character, poison sensitivity, nothing too crazy there. But like the rest is kind of okay. Dur is Gorlos also very meh. Allure is very good. That's probably the only other one that is really, really good. So Psychic Whip attacks 3 enemies at random, decreases the target's turn meter by 25% on each critical hit. So a massive turn meter rewind here. So this is really good in Fire Knight. Not only is it a multi-hitter, but it's also a turn meter decrease. Attacks all enemies 2 times. Each hit has a 30% chance of placing a 30% decreased debuff for 1 turn. Places a sleep debuff for 1 turn on targets under decreased defense. So this is also a really good ability. And then Hellish Blaze attacks 1 enemy, has an extra 30% chance of inflicting a critical hit, will ignore 50% of the target's defense. So very strong, don't get me wrong. Increases ally accuracy and faction crypts by 50%. So Allure is very, very good. One of the better epics in the game for sure. Definitely, I would say probably like top 10 for sure. Allure is really, really nuts. Maybe even better just because of that A1. I'd say that's one of the best A1s on an epic in the entire game, honestly, because of the turn meter rewind and that it's a multi-hitter. And all you need to do to activate that turn meter rewind is crit, and that's really easy to get up to 100%. So Magnar, Allure, that's about it. There's really no one else. Nazana, not worth it. Baroness, also meh, right? Nothing too crazy. And then now we go over to the legendaries. And the legendaries, there are some really good legendaries. Don't get me wrong. Prince Kymar's not bad at all. Has a really good aura in arena battles for 30% speed. That matches Arbiter. Cheshire Cat, very, very good character. Attacks 1 enemy if this champion is under a Veil or Perfect Veil. Attacks all enemies instead. Places a Perfect Veil on this champion for 1 turn. Feline Frenzy, like this guy's really good. He gets a 19% aura speed in all battles as well. He gets like unkillable when he gets close to death. If this champion is under a Veil or Perfect Veil, turn meter fill effects are 30% more effective. Also, if this champion is under a Veil or Perfect Veil buff, this champion's attack will ignore 15% of the target's defense, which is amazing. Whenever this champion is about to receive a hit that would drop their HP below 20%, blocks the incoming damage and places a block damage and a perfect Veil buff on this champion for 1 turn. So he has like a little unkillable thing. That's really, really nice. Cheshire Cat's very good and can hit very hard too. He's really, really cool. Duchess, you've seen me use Duchess a bunch. Full team revive here with a Veil as well and a continuous heal buff on all allies for 2 turns. We've got the block debuffs buff and a 50% increase attack buff on all allies. Also a perfect Veil. We've got shields on the A1. And we also have decreased the damage taken by all allies from AoE attacks by 25%, 15% from bosses. So Duchess is nuts. Duchess is really, really good. Like S tier. I think she's like a 4.5 on Hell Hades. She's really, really good. We also have Hefrak in here, which Hefrak is nuts as well. Whenever an ally is killed by an enemy, instantly activates Hefrak Scorn kill. Will not put the skill on cooldown. And then the Hefrak Scorn attacks all enemies, places an extra hit on targets with less than 50% HP after the first hit. Each hit will ignore 15% of the target's defense. So that's going to keep proccing over and over again if people are getting killed, which he's so good and so strong. Gets a double hit here if the attack is critical, and then places a 50% increased attack buff and a 30% increased crit rate buff on this champion for 3 turns. 3 turns, and then grants an extra turn. So book down to a 4-turn cooldown, gets the extra turn. So technically it's a 3-turn cooldown. This is nuts. I know the buffs really last for only 2 turns because he takes the extra turn immediately, but like, that's nuts. That's so strong. Hefrak is really, really good. Who else do we got here? Helikath is okay. Nothing too crazy with Helikath. Wither the Crown also very, very good as well. So don't get me wrong. Like these characters are very good in the legendary section, right? Obviously. And you only have a 4% chance of getting one of these 8 here. You got that 2% for Volcanos. But you really got to look at what's in the epic, because you got to be realistic with yourself. Is you're mostly going to be pulling epics, right? So we have Magnar and Allure, and that's pretty much it. And you've got what, a 1 in 6 chance in pulling one of the 2 epics that you want, right? So you got to be very careful with these shards. I remember when I pulled them, I didn't get a single legendary. There's also no mercy system when it comes to these shards. So remember in the beginning when we talked about the mercy system with sacreds, and we had the mercy system here, and we talked about it with primals and ancients, voids, all that kind of stuff. There is no mercy system for the prism shards. So that is pretty unfortunate. Oh, hey, look at that. There is. I'm a liar. There's a mercy system. After 20 summons without a legendary, chances increase by 4%. Ugh. So you need to open up at least 40 shards. No, at least 45 shards to get a legendary, like a guaranteed legendary, at least 45. And that's pretty expensive because these take 40 crystals per. And the offers for this are 5 shards for $50, which is like what, 10 is 5 pulls for $50, so it's $10 a pull. So these are very expensive as well. So I don't know. That's pretty hefty. That's $450 for a guaranteed legendary. That's really, really expensive, and it could be a legendary that's not that great, honestly. You have a better chance of getting a good one. So like what, 5 of these are really good. Hefrak, Volcanos, Duchess, Cheshire Cat, and Kymar would be good pulls, right? And Preva, I don't know Preva, but yeah, be very careful with these. Make sure you know what you are getting into, because these are kind of whaley. But hey, if you're a spender and you want to get some of these really good characters, go for it. Now, I really like how it's all demon spawn, and Volcanos obviously has the kit that gets better with demon spawn unity and has those call outs. So I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, just be wary. I wanted to make sure you guys knew about this, and make sure you guys are spending wisely. If you do spend, if you did pull something good, let me know down in the comment section below. Make sure you're clicking that link to start off Raid Shadow Legends the best way possible. I'm having a blast with this game. I love learning this game and learning all the nuances. There's so many. It's so fun. So please come and join me. Till next time, this has been Duelim. Later, Raiders.